Well, here we are at the end of day 11. Whew, what a day it was, too.
Mount Vernon, Illinois. We made it. Yay.
Yeah.
I
It,
feel like I'm going to see George or Martha Washington walking around.
I think I did. Um, it's not as far as we had hoped to get. It's not as far as we would have ideally gone. When we were coming back and planning our return, Champaign, Illinois would have been our ideal. But there were major blizzards just north of where we are coming through. Of course, we didn't know exactly where that would be when we were planning our trip. Um, but
Yeah, I spoke to a couple that had come from the other direction, south. They're heading to Florida from Minneapolis. They stopped at this hotel, and I asked them how conditions were. And they said that they thought that we made a good decision to stop here because there were quite a few trucks in the jackknifed and a lot of cars in the ditches up around Champaign or Bloomington, Illinois. So,
Yeah, so hats off to George. He's like
yay!
our master map guy and navigator and all those kinds of things. And he, you know, knowing that really bad weather was coming, he checked the forecasts in different cities and we figured that the very bottom edge of the blizzards was going to be at Mount Vernon, which was not to Champaign, but close enough that we would still be able to get home tomorrow on our regular schedule. And it was really funny. We drove through a lot of rain, all day. But when we got to the hotel here, it was like instantly, all of a sudden, like 8 inches of snow was on the ground. Like we saw almost no snow on the ground getting to here, and all of a sudden we get here and there's like 8 inches of snow, and they felt like they had gotten a major storm, but we barely experienced it. Like we crossed the border into the snow and was at the hotel. It was like perfect mapping on our navigator's part.
Thank you. Yeah, it was amazing. We're actually coming out of Kentucky. The rain turned to snow almost instantaneously, and it was not on the roads at that point. It was warm enough during the day,
Yeah.
so we were enabled, or it allowed us to get here to Mount Vernon. But it definitely pays to check ahead, look at the major cities along the way where you think you could stop, and to figure out what might be the best route for you and the best stay, and to plan ahead. We called ahead in the morning to make sure that we had a reservation for the hotel because it is booked.
Yeah,
And
where we are is like a town of like 20,000 people, and there's not another town near here. And so pretty much everyone who was escaping the storm came to this hotel. And if we had not booked our hotel early, we would be SOL. And it turns out it's really pet friendly. We chose the hotel off of a website called Bring Fido, which actually we've used along this whole trip, kind of planning it out for people who are traveling with pets who, want to have a good experience traveling with pets. Totally pet friendly hotel, lovely hotel. It's really nice. Never stayed at a Comfort Suites before, but the people are nice. 24-hour jacuzzi. Just got out myself.
me too, and it really helped to relax.
Yeah, and it was also really nice that because we cut the day shorter, it meant that we stopped early and we had the whole afternoon to jacuzzi, hang out with the dogs, took a day of
They're,
rest on
by the
the.
way, they're all here. I wish you could see them. They're kind of in a pile around us.
See if I can do this.
And they're really pooped. There's Bella, and there's the ocean, and there's Kiki. And the cat, I believe, is roaming around somewhere.
Yeah, she's
Because
in
she's
her.
nocturnal.
She's in her.
She's going to be...
Oh, she's jumped up on the bed.
There she
is.
goes. Jasmine. There you are.
So yeah, a very friendly pet friendly hotel. Really nice accommodations. Glad we stopped here. People have been asking us, did we make it? Did we have problems? No, but we also learned today, by the way, that right after we left Punta Gorda, tornadoes touched down there. Like we've seen like severe weather on the way down, and it's kind of followed us around and been on the edges of everywhere we've gone pretty much this whole trip. I can't believe the amount of severe weather we've experienced on this 2 week vacation.
Yeah, and it may be, typical of this year, this time of year. This is our first experience. I gotta say, this was a 2 week experience. This was our first test run. We call it our trial run for snowbirding. Very successful. I'm a fan of snowbirding. I could retire tomorrow. I'd like to retire tomorrow. And spend the January, February months down in Florida and just enjoy the warmth.
I will say we have had so much fun on this trip, and the dogs and the cat have had so much fun on this trip. We plan to do more of this. My next plan is a llama backpacking trip in the Rockies. With the cat won't come on that one. Jasmine, sorry, that'll just be the dogs and us in the Rockies with the llama as our guide. That's going to be tons of fun. That will be a summer trip.
That sounds like fun. I'm just interested in finishing this one up. Keep your fingers crossed, folks. We have one more day where we have to keep our car going all through the night. We can't turn it off, and we have to get home.
I just took the dogs out for their potty break in the evening. Car is still running. It's just fine. Thank you, Prius. I love the Prius.
Yeah, that car is doing okay.
I mean, if we didn't have a hybrid, I don't think we could do this. Because there are gas-powered cars entirely that have those key fobs too. And if we had one of those cars, we'd be SOL. Because we wouldn't be able to leave it run all night.
Yeah, that's true.
We'd be SOL, So, yay, Prius.
Yay.
And thanks for all the comments and questions, and we'll see you all soon.